All right, so we're hanging out down here by the creek. Kids are throwing rocks in the water. And I just wanted to shoot a quick video and talk to you about the different ways you have to look at your P&L. Right, so sometimes when we get our profit and loss statement, which by the way, when I was building my real estate team, I didn't even know what a P&L was. Once I learned what it was and how to read it, the next thing I had to understand was that we have to look at it in different ways. Oftentimes, we look at our P&L from one perspective, and that is our accountant's perspective. But if we think about it, the accountant is looking at it through the lens of the IRS. They're saying, hey, the IRS wants you to do it this way. The IRS is going to look at it this way. For tax savings purposes, this is what it's going to look like. But the problem with that is that there's a different way we need to look at it. We need to look at it as CEOs, right? So what do I mean by that? Okay, so for example, an accountant's going to want you to deduct, for example, personal expenses into your business, which you totally should do. From a tax perspective, probably one of the best things you can do is deduct as many personal expenses as you can. For example, travel or automotive expenses. Maybe you have a lease payment on a vehicle. Maybe it's home office expenses. Maybe it's a portion of your cell phone bill. Whatever it is, there are personal expenses that you're going to run through the business to deduct so that you can save on paying taxes. Super smart tax strategy. The problem is, if we look at our P&L through that lens and that lens alone, it's going to look like our expenses are high when they're really not. And our net profit is lower than it should be when it's really not, right? So if we shift our view of our P&L into more of a CEO's perspective, we're going to pull those expenses out. So for example, if I have a lease payment on my vehicle, as I mentioned before, as an expense, and let's say it's $10,000 a year, my profit shows that I have $500,000 in profit at the end of the year. If I'm looking at it from an accountant's or a bookkeeper's perspective, the IRS perspective, that's how I'm going to see it. But if I look at it from a CEO's perspective, I'm going to say, no. I have $510,000 of profit. I just chose to spend $10,000 of it on a leased vehicle for myself personally and run it through the business. But I really have more than my P&L shows in profit. Same would go for your salary. If you're paying yourself a salary, let's say like when I was running my business, I paid myself $100,000 a year as the CEO of the business. Well, would I have to pay somebody else that to run the business? I don't know. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't. If I wouldn't, really, that's just profit that I'm paying myself, or, that I'm paying myself as a salary. But it really is my money, which is profit. So in that scenario, if I had $500,000 in profit, net profit, but I was paying myself $100,000 salary, I really have $600,000 in total profit because I have the $500,000 it shows in my P&L that my bookkeeper and accountant is telling me is my profit, but I have $100,000 in salary that I paid myself. So I really have $600,000 in profit. Now, the reason this is so important is it gives you, as the CEO of your business, the true health of your business. The true health of your business, right? And so that's so important when you're looking at, am I running the right economic model in my business? So that was my tip for today, and just looking at your P&L in those two different ways. If you need help with it, we do free P&L reviews. I'm happy to do that with you at any time. All you got to do is just reach out and I will walk through your P&L with you and show you how we need to shift these numbers around to look at the true health of your business, not just what your accountant says you should be looking at. And I'll tell you, if you do this, P&Ls don't become so boring, don't become so meaningless. They actually have meaning to them because it shows you the true health of your business. It truly is I always say there's two report cards in your business. One is your calendar and number two is your P&L. And this helps you really look at your P&L like a true report card of your business. So, all right, talk to you soon.